Alright everyone, it's time for a dedicated video about Minds.com. At first I was more confused by the site and hadn't used it so much, so I'm sort of coming from behind compared with a lot of other users. I've now realized it's considerably better than I at first estimated. Maybe not for uploading videos directly. That's still more complex. But it has another purpose, and I'll say this. I spoke before to people, not just on YouTube but elsewhere, about the possibility of creating a website where when YouTube finally hits that dark day at which it begins putting content into limited state, which is a form of censorship, when that happens, it will be necessary for people to link that content elsewhere in order for it to be shared around, in order for it to be rated and commented upon, because those functions will be removed. Probably in most cases this will be related to the content is slightly offensive. It won't be related to extremist content, I don't think. When this happens, if it causes chaos on YouTube, it won't affect people who have a significant presence on Minds, because they can simply take the URL, which is still shareable, because it has to have a URL, plop it there, it can be commented on, rated, and shared around within Minds. The post itself can then also be shared out off of Minds for anyone who has an account there already. That actually performs more or less the functionality I was speaking of. So what I'm titling this is The Drive to 5. I want to achieve 5,000 subscribers on Minds as quickly as possible. I think that's a decent short-term mark. It's like on VidMe, I think I'm getting up towards, I think I'm above 13,000 people following me there. Alt tech is taking off. And Minds is more explicitly alt-tech than VidMe, certainly. Now, I primarily make videos, so instead of doing text posts and using Minds sort of like Twitter, I might do that occasionally, sort of like I have on Facebook. But Minds is really more of a Facebook replacement than anything else. And it's going to become important, I think, as censorship continues for some time. There are signs, by the way, in good news of the day, even Cloudflare is sort of tinkering with the idea, maybe we made a mistake. I think we need to reverse course or stop this nonsense about the censorship, the heavy-handed stuff. There is a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel even as we speak, which means it didn't take that long. I expected that nobody would see the light for many months to come, possibly years. Maybe I severely overestimated how bad things could be. Maybe we're already in peak moral panic. It's already begun to decline, for all I know. It is possible, and that'd be the greatest possible outcome. Oh, it'd be so great. Maybe you should join me on Minds. Link in the description, because Minds doesn't censor content. And also, anytime somebody is signing up to the channel, it gives you, like, you compete for points on the platform, which allows you to boost material. If you're sharing around videos and people are increasingly commenting on it and sharing them around and so forth, that gives you more of an ability to also have additional content that's on there and gets seen by other people, allowing you to expand further. And it's a massive platform. It's already massive. Minds is certainly solvent. It's certainly doing very well. Of all of the alt-tech firms, I think Minds is sort of #1 as far as their capabilities. Gab has raised a huge amount of money. Patreon is still growing. Some of these other platforms, VidMe is certainly growing, even though it's not strictly alt-tech. But Minds, I think, is sort of #1 because they began riding the anti-censorship train earliest. And that's to their benefit. It's a good thing, I think, for the world. I would love to see the day that Facebook stops existing altogether and Minds displaces it entirely. It would be a better world if that happened. It'd probably also be more fun. It's more fun to coordinate things there. Facebook is, you know, it's so strangulated. It's just an amalgamation at this point of legacy media bullcrap. By the way, the people at Minds, if any of these, if you get big, take my advice. Don't allow any of the legacy media firms to have a presence there. Kick them off if they try. Make an exception on censorship for corporate firms and keep them off the platform. Otherwise, eventually, they'll offer you the moon on a stick and then control you by doing so, and then try to suppress other people they're competing with. Don't give them the time of day. Make it clear that it's for real individuals and not some fucking corporation or something like that. That's my advice. So yeah. You should definitely join me on Minds.com. It's a good platform. If you're more into putting video out specifically, it's a little bit more in depth. I do know how to do it now. It was explained to me, but it's not as simplistic as on many other platforms. Like, it's not a dedicated video hosting site. It's sort of an amalgamation. If you're used to Facebook or G+, or in a way almost Twitter or Gab, then you'll be able to navigate it fairly easily. Interesting site. An enormous number of alt media content creators are already on Minds, so I can't imagine. If you're a fan of my work, you're probably going to like Minds. Censorship free, more or less. You know, like Sargon's there, Lauren Southern is there, the Black Pigeon Speaks is there. Basically everyone is there. So it's definitely the rising social media platform of the new generation. Probably Gen Z will be using Minds as opposed to Facebook. And more power to them, by the way, if they do. It's a better decision to make. That's about all. Peace out.